Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm just going to make a short video here on how to show you how to install your either 75 milliamp or 100 milliamp battery into one of your Anki cars. This goes for all the cars. Oh, look who's creeping up on me. It's Vector. Really, Vector? I'm trying to make a video here and you got to interrupt. But you know what? You're cute. Oh, you need to get charged? Well, let me put you back on your charger. We won't have to make it go all the way over there. There you go, buddy. There. Let me finish my video. Alright, so back to the video, guys. So, as I was saying, usually it's a 90 milliamp. One that's in the car, I believe, is a 75 milliamp. I've done this so many times with most of my Anki cars. Very easy to update. Upgrade the battery in it. You go with 100 milliamp, you're going to get a heck of a lot more runtime. You're looking at that 20-minute mark, definitely looking at that 20-minute mark with the 100 milliamp battery. 100 milliamp is probably the max size battery you can put in it. Also, don't get the batteries that have just the two ends coming out. It's got to have the PCM board inside, and I'll show you that here. Alright, so some of the batteries online that you can buy off of eBay, you got to be careful what you buy. There's a low voltage circuit board that's installed on these little batteries from either over discharging or overcharging, and you definitely want to get it with it. You'll see ones that have the two prongs coming out. Stay away from them batteries because it does not have the circuit board on it. So we'll get right to it here. So this goes, like I said, for any of the cars. Any of the drive cars, any of the overdrive cars, any of the super trucks, goes for all of them. They all pretty much have the same chassis. What you want to do, there's a screw on the bottom, which I took off already. Well, I unscrewed it already. It's just in the front. You'll see two in the back. Those are just for the weights. You don't have to take those off. So what you do is you unscrew that screw, and the body just comes right off. Usually on there is a little plastic cover. Which is right here, which is usually on top. That protects the circuit board. You just pull that off. There's a little sticky tape on there. Okay, so what you want to do is, there is two pieces in the front, two plastic pieces. Sorry, I'm only using one hand here to make this video, guys. I'm just trying to help some people out that don't really understand how to do it. So what you got to do is you got to kind of pull back on this. Don't break it off because that holds the circuit board in. There's two of them. So what you want to do is you get something to pry underneath it. I use a very, very small screwdriver, and I'm very delicate with it. Really, really small head screwdriver. I mean, that thing's small. And what I usually do is I'll push it out on one side and then pry up a little bit, and push it out on this side, pry it up, then the front will come off, and I'll show you that part. Alright, so once you pry it up, be very careful. Don't stick a screwdriver in the front of the nose because there is a little lens on there and you can pull the lens off. And that is your IR lens and your clear plastic. This is the battery. Most of the batteries that I've been noticing that were bad, like this one here, doesn't even turn on. It shows blue on the charger, but more or less is telling me it's a bad cell. Either it was probably discharged below the voltage for the charger to pick it up, but as you can see, it's swollen versus this new battery, how thin it is and how swollen that battery is. And you can see they're pretty much the same size. Same width size and same length size. If they are a little bit bigger, as long as they're not wider, a little bit longer is okay, but you don't want it too much longer. And you also got to be very, very, very careful. I can't stress this enough. On the back you got these two little wires for each side, which are your lights. Okay, so on the bottom you're going to notice, pull the battery back a little bit. This is how I do it. You're going to notice, let me try to zoom in there a little bit to give you an idea of what it looks like. Your red wires right here, and come on camera, focus. And your ground wire is right there. So what you're going to end up doing is take your soldering iron and be very careful, and you're going to desolder that wire off and this wire off. I don't know why my phone's being stupid with focusing. probably because of the lighting in here. So what you're just going to do is you're going to desolder the red and desolder the black, and make sure you remember where the wires go. Don't put black on this side and red on this side, because you'll just fry the board. And be very careful up here. These are sensors for the wheels. When the gears go around and they spin, it picks up on where the tires are, and to go left and to go right. So just be careful, don't melt these off and touch it with your soldering, because this is very small soldering here. And then on this, I got ones with no connector on it, so you just pull the tape off, make sure it's spliced back, take some solder, you know, flow the solder on this end, flow the solder on this end. And what you're going to do is just same procedure. You're going to put the red to the red and the black to the black. It does have a little piece of double backing tape on the battery. And then when you put it back together, you make sure that battery is where it was before, sitting underneath the light, or it will not fit up here in the chassis. And then when you go to snap this back down, make sure that your battery is stuck in there good, and this clear plastic lens is all the way down in this opening here, and make sure it's clipped all the way down, and check underneath before you're all done and wrapping it all up. Because what will happen if it's popped up a little bit or off to the side, or one side's up or the other side's up, the car's going to do 360s. Go a little bit on the track and start doing 360s. And don't pinch the wires in the back. Make sure they go back in this groove again. That's pretty much it, guys. It's pretty easy and simple. Just be very careful with the soldering iron, and just make sure you're not hitting any of the other points. I recommend using like a head magnifying glass or a magnifying glass doing it, and just make sure you don't touch any other wires or anything like that. And like I said, it's pretty simple. Goes back the same way you took it apart. Thanks guys for watching. Take care.